cold in here. I need a heating pad. Hey, y'all. Let me go get a heating pad. I need it. Kiwi! Bring me a heating pad, babe. Bring me a heating pad. Look in my room in my chair. I'm cold. Hey, y'all. Hi. I'm back. Do y'all know? Y'all, I went live earlier today. This is my first time walking through the door since I was on live earlier today. I've been in the streets all that time. Janvier, girl, I was in the streets all that time. I just walked through the door. I said, let me get on live and talk for about an hour. Answer a couple questions. Give a couple tips. You know how we do. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Maria. Hey, Carrie. Welcome in. Hey, Janet. Side to side. Girl, I'm feeling a lot better today. You see, I can kind of project my voice a little bit. Oh, but let me do this right quick. Hold on. Okay. See if that'll get me through my little live, girl. And I got me some Tessalon Pearls for cough. I'm going to take me a little cough suppressant. The little Tessalon Pearls. You know how they give y'all when you get a little cough? They give you these little clear pills. Do that. Hey, friend. Hey, sunshine. Hey, Miss V. Girl, you're taking the same thing? Do they work? I feel like mine don't work, but my sister said, she said I'm not taking them right. She said I'm supposed to take them 3, and it does say take 3 times a day, but I feel like they just don't work. So I'm just taking it. Hopefully it'll get me through my live. As long as you make sure you take them. See, look, I was just saying, I don't think I'm taking them right, friend. That's why they're not working. So I need to set my clock so that I can take them right. Because I go back to work at bedside tomorrow, girl. This is my last night off. So I've been on a nebulizer too. Oh, wow. Hey, Miss Shirley. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. Oh, my God. No cold fluids. And guess what? This is full of ice. That's why I'm coughing like crazy. Welcome in, everybody. We'll give the live a little bit more time to build while I say my hellos. Hey, Miss Lady O, welcome in. Miss Lady T, I see you, friend. Blue Heart, hi, beautiful. Welcome in. Okay, T Baby says, can you show me what 37.5 units are? So, yes, I can show you what that looks like on a syringe, baby. Hold on. Let me get a syringe. I can show you exactly what that looks like. Ooh. I can show you exactly. So this is a 100 unit syringe. Thank you, baby, for the heating pad. Because, girl, it's cold in here. Thank you. All right, so this is a 100 unit syringe, friend, you see? And so in between 30 and 40, you're gonna count the spaces by 2. So after the line with 30, that would be 32, 34, 36, 38, and then you'll see 40. So 37.5 will be in between 36 and 38. You got it, boo? That's how you figure that out. You got it? T-baby? That's how you figure that out, okay? You count by 2s on a 100 unit syringe. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for the follow Culture Crown. For the 100 people who are in the chat, if you are not yet following me, click this picture right here. Click follow and put your notification bells on. Hold on one second. KB is asking, what would that be in milligrams? So that's the thing, friend. The milligrams is going to be different for everybody because your concentration could be different. So it just depends on what your prescription says. You know, everybody's concentration is different. So your concentration is going to be your concentration. And according to your concentration, your pharmacist will delegate how many units you're supposed to be administering. So they will convert your milligrams to units. They will convert your milliliters to units. Okay. So what does your prescription says? Okay. I always catch my son's colds. I take Humira for, okay, got you. I missed the rest of that statement. I'm on 7.5. What's going to be the measurements? Y'all, if you have any questions about your measurements, y'all really need to be calling y'all pharmacies, okay? So that y'all can get clarification, because I can't tell you exactly what it's supposed to be because I don't know what your concentrations are. Do I have any suggestions how to stay healthier? I always catch my son's colds. Okay, I see what you're saying. Girl, the only thing that I can say is to stay hydrated and take your vitamin C. Take your vitamin C, friend. If there's anything that you can do to build your immunity, that's what you have to do. You know, that's basically the thing that you have to do, friend. Stay hydrated and bulk up your vitamin C. Whatever it is that you need to take for immunity, those are the things that you need to do. So, question, GLP-1 meds and pregnancy. Have you heard anything about birth defects? Amanda, not at all. Not at all. But I do know that because GLP-1s correct your insulin sensitivity, a lot of women who are overweight have insulin resistance, and it does affect your fertility. So when you guys get on GLP-1 medications and your hormones correct themselves, y'all get fertile. Now, once y'all get fertile and y'all get pregnant, then you have to switch over to your OBGYN and start asking them those type of questions. Because remember, friend, I'm a nurse. I'm not a clinician, and I don't work with OB. Like, I don't work I don't work in women's health. I work in outpatient. You know, I do emergency room. So that's something different. You know, I don't work in women's health. Girl, I didn't even take women's health in school. I tested out of that because I knew I never wanted to be an OB nurse, and I never wanted to take care of kids, because when I had my daughter, she was a preemie, and girl, I gave those nurses hell over my baby in NICU. So I never wanted to be a peds nurse because I didn't want to have to deal with the mothers of their sick babies, because that's crazy. I was crazy. So I tested out. Are there any discounts? And I wanted Semaglutide. It seems like ZEPBOUND is the strongest. So right now, if you're specifically speaking to Amble, excuse me, Miss Tima, we just lowered, implemented bulk pricing with our meds. So we do have discounted prices for bulk orders. And so you know, when it comes to semaglutide, you can order 3, 6, 9, and 12-month supply. And the more you order, the cheaper it is, friends. So, and then if you order bulk pricing, then you have the opportunity to use Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay, and all of those things. So if there's anybody, you know, since we on it, you know, it always only takes one person to start asking me about pricing and stuff like that. If you are a patient who wants to take GLP-1 medications, as a nurse, I always tell patients to vet the branded versions first, especially if you have insurance. With branded versions, they may be on your formulary. You may be able to get your insurance company to help you pay for those things. You just have to call your pharmacy benefits managers to see if they're on your formularies. And if they're not on your formularies, then it's possible that you can have a prior authorization done. And I will say this every single time that I'm live, because I need my patients who have insurance to utilize y'all's insurance, so you don't even have to deal with trying to figure out if compound is for you, or finding companies that compound medicines for you safely and all that stuff. You can just get the branded versions through your insurance companies if they're on your formulary. So, even if you don't know, call your PBM and see if you can get the branded versions. If you're diabetic, ask your clinicians to write you scripts for Ozempic and MOUNJARO. If you are an obese patient, WEGOVY and ZEPBOUND have been FDA approved for obesity. So you can try to get those branded through your insurance company, and you can try to go through prior authorizations to get them approved, so that, I feel like as a nurse, when it comes to patients and their medicines, the best outcome is if you can afford to get your medicines. And I feel like the most cost-effective way to get these meds is by getting your insurance company to help you pay for them, because they're going to help you every single month. That's not money that you have to come up with. It's going to already be that you just have to pay your copay. That's all you have to come up with. So it's easier that way. Now, if you don't have insurance and you need compounded versions of these medicines, then of course I'm going to advise you to utilize Amble, because that's who I use for my family. There's a link that is in my bio. If you click this picture twice, it'll bring you to my profile page on TikTok. Or if you go through YouTube, if you go through me through YouTube, it's always going to be in the link that's in the description on YouTube. But when it comes to TikTok, all you have to do is click this picture twice. It'll bring you to my profile. Right underneath my email address, which is right here, is my personal website. The link for Amble to your medical questionnaire is in my website. So once you open it up, you're going to know that you're in, because you're going to see a picture of me. You're going to see my name, and then you're going to scroll down until you see the hyperlink for Amble. Hey, Mesofab. Hold on. I don't think my Wi-Fi is on this phone. It's not. Hold on. One second. Okay. So this is what my personal website looks like. You'll see a picture of me, and then you're going to see my name, and then you're going to scroll down till you get to the hyperlink for Amble, which is right here. And once you click that hyperlink, it's going to bring you exactly to your medical questionnaire, where you start answering your personal questions, and then a clinician will connect with you. Once the clinician connects with you, you guys will discuss what's best, which medication is best, what is offered to you, pricing and everything. And then your meds will be sent to the 503A pharmacy and then sent to your home. But again, that's only after you have vetted your insurance company. See if you can get these meds branded first, and then go through compound. And the only reason why I'm saying that, again, is because I know it's most affordable when your insurance company will help you pay for it. And then, those of us who have to utilize compound, I thank God that they have companies out there, really, really good companies like Amble, that will get us the medicines that we need. You guys know that we're going a more personal approach when it comes, hey boo, when it comes to your prescriptions. So that's a good thing. Your scripts are not going to look like everybody else's. Your doses are not going to look like everybody else's. Your concentration is not going to look like everybody else's. So we have to get out of the habit of asking each other, how many units do you give for yours? Because your units may be different from mine. If you have any questions like that, you need to direct those questions to your pharmacist, okay? So that you can get the correct answer, okay? For those of you who are patients of Amble, again, Amble is going through a growth spurt, especially since we have offered bulk pricing. Hey, Kima, welcome in. Y'all are wearing that bulk pricing out, and I don't blame you, because the more, if you buy 3, 6, 3, 6, 9, 12 months at a time, the price is cheaper because think about it. You're going to be on these well, a lot of us are going to be on these medicines for the long haul. So why not do bulk pricing and use the resources that are available to you like Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, so that you can just get your medicines paid for. We only ship out 3 months at a time. So you'll be able to titrate your medicines and let your doctors know what doses to send. So all of that is available to you. You know, it just makes it more affordable, which is at the end of the day, all we're trying to do for you is make it more affordable. Oh gosh, hold on. What T-Baby said? I did my stomach today and it hurt. Is there anything in the stomach that I should be? T-Baby, what you saying, friend? You saying you gave your injection in your belly and it hurt you more than usual? If that's what you're saying, you know, I have recommended that you guys use the lidocaine spray. I just want to make sure that's what you're saying. For those of you, okay, she said yes. Okay, so let me show you, friend, because I don't know if you remember about the lidocaine spray that I suggested. Let me get it. So for those of you who are having difficult times with injections and you have, oh, she said she saw a little blood. So that's normal, baby. You probably just hit a little superficial vessel. You'll be okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, girl, that happens all the time. That even happens as, you know, sometimes we give medicines as nurses and we hit little blood vessels because you're not going to know what the little tiny blood vessels are. It's not no big deal, baby doll. It's not life-threatening at all. You might have a little bruise that'll go away with time, but you're okay, baby. You okay. You're okay. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. Did you see that Miss Elizabeth says that the needles aren't even long enough for you to hit a muscle? So you're okay. Love you too, my love. She says I was on the way to the hospital. Girl. Oh, God. Friend, don't make me laugh. I'm already having problems with this bronchitis. Oh, God. But I know what you're saying. You're fine. You're fine, baby. You're okay. That's normal. That is normal. For the 141 people who are in the chat, if you are new here, click this picture. Make sure you're following me. Put your notification bells on. Make sure that you guys are following the Health and Hustle podcast, you guys. We have some exciting things coming up that me and Kima will be announcing probably this weekend. We have a guest that's going to come on that works in women's health that'll be talking to us about some things. And we'll also be talking about body dysmorphia in our new upcoming episode of the Health and Hustle podcast. You know, we have lately been focusing on mental health issues that some of us have been experiencing. So we're trying to take the stigma off of people suffering in silence with mental health. So it's really, really something that you guys should be paying close attention to the podcast, because we have clinicians that are going to come on and talk to us about some of these things. I was really hoping that we can get Aaron back, because he is a psych NP now, to talk to us more about body dysmorphic disorder in the difficult time that we have in changes with our body as we lose weight. I know I was experiencing some things, you know, I told y'all, and I keep talking about this because I really was feeling some type of way about gaining 11 pounds in December and January. Now I done lost 8 of the pounds. But I was feeling some type of way, you know, even though I know it's normal for us to gain and lose weight on our weight loss journey, but when you fight so hard to make such a big accomplishment, you don't want to see the weight put back on, and it can kind of make you down and make you feel some type of way. So I think the best thing to do is just to talk about it. is to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. Your video really helped me do the IM for the Lipo C. That lidocaine was the truth. Oh, I'm so glad, friend. Can y'all see? And I have this print. Let me move this shirt over like this so y'all can see. Our gallbladder issues common in GLP-1 use. So no, it's not a common thing, but it does happen. It will happen, especially if you've had previous gallbladder issues. But I know a lot of people who have had gallbladder issues and they do wonderful on GLP-1s. Okay, the Health and Hustle podcast is in the building. So if you guys are not following the podcast, make sure you click and follow the podcast. You can see the episodes on YouTube. All you have to do is go to the profile on TikTok of the Health and Hustle podcast and click the link that is in the bio. It'll bring you straight to YouTube so that you can watch the videos and just watch it whenever you have some downtime. It's two nurses, Kima and I, and we're talking about things that really truly affect us. Y'all, we give resources. Like if you're someone who's suffering with anxiety, depression, and I think we may have talked about bipolar, we give resources that people that you can call to help you. Like you don't even have to leave your house to get help. Okay? There is no link in the bio. Yeah, friend. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. With all this coughing, y'all know I'm trying to recover myself from bronchitis and I feel like I'm coughing all over y'all. Oh, you see it? Okay, she said I see it now. Okay, friend. Thank you, Charge Nurse Keisha, for shining a light on the UPS downs of the ups and downs of weight loss on your GLP-1 journey. You welcome, baby. You welcome. So while we have a few minutes of time, I didn't get the chance to post my YouTube video on fluid retention. So I really wanted to talk to y'all about that. Hold on, let me pull up my notes. Here we go. Let me pull up my notes, honey. Because I can talk to y'all about it on live and then I can still do a YouTube video that we can go back to. Do you like Amble? I feel like their customer service is off. Okay, so I talked about this at the top of the live. First of all, I love Amble. And I love Amble because Amble prides themselves on patient safety first. And Amble, let me tell y'all something. Amble was a small company last year, right? And as a small company, we were able to do a lot more things for the little bit of patients that we had. And I think what's happening with Amble and the customer service issue is people are not giving Amble the respect that they need to grow, right? Amble is in a growth spurt. Like you got to remember when Amble came onto the scene, they came on the scene as a small company in this big sea of big fish, right? And people flocked to Amble because of all of the great things, the way that they take care of their patients, right? And so, it would take like less than 24 hours for a doctor to reach out to you because we were small. It would take 2 to 3, 4 days for you to get your medicines in the mail because we were small. But as we're growing, it takes more time. It takes more hands. It takes more doctors. It takes more customer service reps. And so now that they're growing, because we're in our growth spurt, people who are so accustomed to getting that quick response from Amble, it's like y'all are not giving them the opportunity to grow like every other company has grown. Y'all just weren't there for the growth. But because Amble is a new company, y'all are seeing everything firsthand. And I think it's just so funny how you can be pleased for so many months, and as soon as a company gets a growth spurt, you jump ship. Like, I don't understand that. Y'all remember when Eli Lilly took their stuff off of the market the very first time, and how everybody backed off the table. Nobody can get their tirzepatide, but Amble patients, we was still rolling because they take care of things. Amble do things behind the scene to take care of y'all that y'all would not even imagine. And I understand that you guys are paying for a service and your expectation is high. I understand all of that. I just wish people would see the bigger picture, and understand that we're just in a growth spurt. That's the only problem. We've hired more doctors. We've hired 25 new reps, and we're in the onboarding phase, which takes about a month. So, you're either gonna stick around and be a part of a great family, and when and stick it, I don't even know how to say it. Like when the FDA and Eli Lilly was crashing down on y'all scripts, Amble stayed firm. They hired their attorneys. They did everything they needed to do to protect their patients. So why can't y'all do that for them now that they're having a growth spurt? Because that's the only problem. That's the only problem. It's just so many of y'all now. And now that we have implemented bulk pricing, y'all are ordering so much medicine. We're trying to play catch up with y'all. That's the only problem. And I know that's something that you guys don't know firsthand, but who's going to tell y'all? I mean, we're here to tell y'all, the partners can tell you what the problem is. But I don't want people who have been around and you have been getting all of this great customer service, and now that we're in the middle of a growth spurt, you cannot wait the 7 to 10 business days for them to get back to you, or the 7 to 10 business days for you to get your medicine in the mail, because you're so used to getting it in 2 to 4. The only problem is we're growing. And so, you just have to give, if you believe in Amble, and if Amble was so good to you, you can stick around or not. We're not here to force anybody's hand. If you're not happy with Amble, we just want you to get your medicine wherever you feel like you're going to be happy. But just as an explanation to let you know what is going on, we're just in the middle of a growth spurt. And that happens with every company. Y'all just were, y'all are just seeing it, y'all are with a company that was small, and y'all are seeing the transition. Y'all are in the midst of the transition. And sometimes transitions don't feel well, but they will stabilize. Okay, so it's not like, the customer service reps don't want to answer you. We're just trying to play catch up. That's the only problem, y'all. So it does take 7 to 10, and I've always told y'all, it takes 24 to 48 hours for a clinician to reach out to you, 7 to 10 business days for you to get your meds in the mail, even though you get your meds in 4, but realistically, it's 7 to 10 business days. We just spoiled. And if you want to get your meds faster for someone else, it's okay. I promise you, Amber gonna be all right. It's okay. I just want to give you an explanation as to what's going on. We hired a hell of a lot of new people, y'all. And the onboarding process is going on. And if you know anything about business, if you've ever been in orientation, it takes some time. Okay. I don't know what else to say to that, friend. Let's see. I'm an Amble patient, and can I switch from Sema to Terz? So Sunset, now that we're doing personalized medication, those type of questions have to be answered with your clinician in your patient portal. So I don't know what your doctor is going to offer you. You have to get that information in your patient portal. Does that make sense? Ms. Brown, thank you for sharing the live. Is there a way to inject the inner thigh safely or outer thigh? So Ms. Gina, you're going to inject wherever you have adipose tissue. So when I do my injection, well, girl, listen, I don't even give GLP-1 in my thigh. But when I do give sub-Q injections to patients, I always give it right here, right in the thigh right here. And I give IM injections. Let me stand up so you can see. I know some people will give it on their outer thigh, but I give it in the inner. So if you're going to give an IM injection, your muscle is right here on the top. You give IM right here, and then you can give sub-Q right here. This is where most of your fat be, like in your thighs. So you're going to give it right here somewhere. Okay, baby? As long as it's adipose tissue in the thigh, you'll be good. But that's where I get my injections. What would be good for severe diarrhea on 10 milligrams? So I would just say, I would take some Imodium over the counter. Imodium over the counter. Severe diarrhea to me is like when you start getting dehydration, like your legs are starting to cramp you, you're starting to get dizzy because you're going to the bathroom. Sometimes when patients have diarrhea, it's your body's way of getting rid of something that's going to harm you. So if you're having a couple of episodes of loose stool, I would say let it take its course. But when it gets dangerous is when your body starts to cramp you and stuff like that, you start to get dehydrated. Then you would take some Imodium and you would take it the way the packaging says over the counter. Do you have to stay on the meds for life once you're taking it? Not necessarily, friend. It just depends on why you're taking it. If you have insulin resistance, you know that GLP-1 medications is an endocrine medicine. It's not a weight loss medicine. So when you're taking a GLP-1 medication and you're insulin resistant, GLP-1 medications make you more insulin sensitive. That's not something that you can control with your diet. It's a metabolic issue. So if it is if you're insulin resistant, then you need help. You need medicine to help you. Now, can you stick to lifestyle changes and consistencies to help you develop a better relationship with food? Yes. Can you develop great workout regimens? Yes, of course you can. But at the end of the day, insulin resistance and not being insulin sensitive is a metabolic issue that you have no control over. And some of us need help with meds. So what I usually tell patients is, if you don't want to take the medicine, then take yourself off. Talk with your doctor, take yourself off, see if you can control your weight by your lifestyle changes. And sometimes some people are successful, sometimes they aren't. If you're not successful, you just go right back to your doctor and say, look, I tried. I really believe that I can't control this insulin resistance thing, and I need to go back on a low dose. You may just need to be on a very low dose to keep your insulin resistance at bay. You know what I'm saying? So, to each his own. I reached my goal weight thanks to Amble, and I am now in maintenance. Congratulations, friend. How can I tell if diabetes is a genetic issue or a weight issue? So I don't think there's any genetic testing that can be done that would determine if it is like a genetic thing. I don't think there's a gene. I don't know, y'all. Listen, don't get me started. I don't know if there's a gene to test whether or not you are have diabetes. I think it's just a questionnaire that doctors do to develop your family history to kind of somewhat see what type of issues that you could possibly run into in your health journey. And they can kind of determine, what's hereditary, what to be expected, and what type of meds that they could possibly put you on to prevent hereditary things. But a lot of times when it comes to weight gain, friend, it's that insulin resistance. It's insulin resistance. Insulin is a hormone that helps to break down carbohydrates and helps to break down fats, and it helps to metabolize them and put them where they need to be and utilize them the way they need to. And for a lot of us who are insulin resistant, our body doesn't do it that way. And so that's why we have obesity, And so that's one of the great things about GLP-1 medications is that it changes you metabolically. How do I stop the late night cravings? So, Miss Teresa, I would say if you have late night cravings, having a late night snack is not a bad thing. I would just snack on protein, get you some protein snacks, try to snack on things that's more that help you rather than hurt you. And if you feel like it's like sweet cravings and stuff like that, you may need to ask your clinician to increase your dose of GLP-1, or you may need to ask your doctor to supplement you with something like a Contrave, which helps with sweet cravings. They may need to put you on metformin, which increases your insulin sensitivity. There's Topamax, phentermine, Casimia. What's the other one? Topamax, Casimia, phentermine, Contrave. Oh yeah, that's all of them. And metformin. But Here's the thing. When it comes to this GLP-1 journey, y'all, and y'all with this, what should I eat and what should not eat, I really feel like y'all shouldn't be depriving yourself of anything. I think that you can eat everything in moderation because it prevents you from failure. You know, it's things that you like to eat. You know, as long as you're doing high protein, low carbs, low fats, high fiber, you'll be okay. You know, and eat things in moderation. Stop depriving yourself. You know, you're human. It's things that you like to eat, you know, but just do it in moderation. But if you are having problems with cravings, then you can definitely ask your doctor to supplement you. Now, here's something that I was experiencing. I felt like when I don't take my injections the way I'm supposed to take them, I do crave all kind of stuff. See, I'm a carnivore. Like, I like to eat meat and I like to eat pork, which is bad, you know. I like to eat pork. I love red meat, which is not good for my diet. It's not good for my health at all. And I like to eat salty foods and sodium. You know, I like sour, pickled like stuff, which is not good because, you know, you have fluid retention and stuff like that. So I felt like I was doing a lot of that. So I went to my primary care, and when I talked to my primary care about this bronchitis I'm dealing with, I asked them for a script for phentermine, and they gave it to me. First of all, did y'all know phentermine has you'd have to do a prior authorization for phentermine now? My insurance company asked me, I had to do a PA for phentermine, and I got approved. But anyway, my whole point is I felt like I was doing the most, and I felt like that was the reason why I gained the 11 pounds. But it wasn't even fat that I gained, y'all. It was fluid retention, which is one of the reasons why I want to do my YouTube video. I'm probably going to do it in the morning and post it about fluid retention, because a lot of us will have fluid retention and our weight will go up and down and we think that we're gaining weight, but all you're doing is retaining fluid. And I want to really get into that. Different question, but can you tell me where you got your pretty little colorful necklace? Girl, it's in my TikTok shop. It's by Kristen Marie. It's in my TikTok shop, friend. I want to cancel my auto on 10 and go down to 8. What can I do? I paused it. So you did the right thing, Miss Susan, by pausing it. Now you need to contact customer service in your patient portal and let them know what you want to do. Okay, that's how you do that, friend. Okay. Tawana, thank you for sharing the live. My lashes are in my TikTok shop. Y'all know I get everything out of TikTok shop. I don't even shop on Amazon no more. Everything is TikTok shop. They haven't answered me for over a week. Okay, so Miss Susan, did you only put one question in the queue? Because if you ask a question today and 3 days later you ask another question and they've not answered the first one, it puts you at the end of the line, friend. That's what I'm experiencing, fluid retention. What's your YouTube channel name? It's my first and last, KEASHA Dixon. But I'm about to get into it right now, friend. Yeah, Miss Susan, just wait for them to respond. I know it's taking some time for all the reasons that I talked about. You know, we are behind with customer service because we just hired 25 new reps because the company is growing. So it's taking them some time. And I do apologize for that, Miss Susan. But it's just, you know, Amble is having a growth. And I promise you, they're working so hard behind the scenes to get stuff together for y'all. Miss Joyce, the answer to your question that you just asked me is in the patient portal. You have to talk with the clinicians. We're no longer allowed to publicly speak on that. And it's because of protection of you guys. Okay? If you can read between the lines, we're no longer allowed to publicly talk about that specific medicine because of all the FDA stuff that's going on and to protect you guys. But I promise you, if you go into your patient portal, you will get the answer to that question and you will like the answer that you get. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about fluid retention, y'all, really quickly. For the 200 people who are in the chat, if you click on my picture, make sure you hit follow and put your notification bells on. I'm going to do like a quick little education on fluid retention and why you guys may be experiencing fluid retention while you're on your weight loss journeys. Yeah, thank you, Joni. This is something that happens to a lot of us. I had been experiencing that, and I was really down about it. So I wrote some notes, and this is literally like my notes I wrote for my YouTube video. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it and go through why you guys may be experiencing things that happen with fluid retention. Okay, while you're on your weight loss journey. Okay, so the first thing that I documented is a lot of times with fluid retention, there is a sodium imbalance. Okay, we know when we eat highly salty foods that we're gonna retain fluid. That's just what's gonna happen. And then also, if you eat a lot of carbs, wherever there is carbs, water will follow. So if you, say for instance, you have this big weight fluctuation up. If you look back on what you ate, 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to see where it's coming from. Like, say for instance, you eat too many carbs one day, you eat like a boiled bag. Y'all know I'm into seafood boiled bags, honey. So I knew one of the reasons why I was retaining like this last, I would say like this last month, is because it's crawfish season. I live in Texas, y'all. Louisiana, we do the boiled bags, the crabs, y'all. It's really big out here. There's a crawfish boil company on every corner out here. And so this is the season around Easter, Lent season. We eat a lot of seafood, and a lot of seafood is not made the right way. It's full of salt and sodium. So, you know, wherever there's sodium, water is going to follow. For the 186 people who are in the chat, click on my picture. Make sure you're following me and put your notification bells on. If you're looking for the link for Amble, the link is in my bio on TikTok. Okay, it'll bring you straight to your medical questionnaire so that you can get your meds dispensed to you through Amble. And if you order bulk pricing, bulk meds, you can use Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay, and there's Google Pay, and there was, oh, and you can use your FSA and your HSA. Hey, Broderick, welcome in, friend. We're talking about fluid retention. Okay, so we know one of the things that can happen is with fluid imbalance, what happens is when you eat processed foods, you'll have an electrolyte shift, and then dehydration will start to set in, and then so your body will start retaining fluid. It will hold on to it, okay? And so the way to fix that is to reduce high sodium foods. You want to eat potassium rich foods like bananas, spinach, avocados. Thank you. Hey. You okay? Okay. My husband home. Okay. So if you are retaining fluid and it is secondary to sodium intake, what you want to do is start eating things rich in potassium. Did y'all know that? I learned that through my studies. Can I use Afterpay on Semorlin? If you order it in bulk, you can, yes. I don't think you get Afterpay or Klarna if you go month to month, because I don't really know about that one, friend. I think it's only available to current Amble patients or patients who do bulk pricing. Does that make sense? Okay, so just to rewind, if you have fluid retention secondary to sodium intake, what you want to do is start eating potassium-rich foods. You want to do an electrolyte shift. And so if you eat potassium-rich foods, it decreases your sodium. So potassium-rich foods are things like bananas, spinach, avocados. Sorry, I missed the conversation if you were discussing add-ons. I wasn't, baby. I wasn't. Okay, so then the second thing that happens with fluid retention is hormone fluctuations. We know estrogen, progesterone, cortisol can shift your weight under stress, right? We know with estrogen and progesterone, our menstrual cycles, when you're on your menstrual, when you're going through that time of the month, you are going to retain fluid. That's just what happens. And then when you go through the cycle, then you will lose fluid. Okay, so your weight can go up and down during your menstrual cycles. And then cortisol, we know that cortisol is a stress hormone. If you are stressing out, honey, you're going to retain. Okay, so how do you fix that? You're going to get you some good sleep. you're going to do stress management, and you're going to possibly seed cycle. What's seed cycling? Thank you, friend. Hold on, let me see. Let me Google seed cycling. What is seed cycling? Seed cycling is a practice that involves consuming specific seeds at different stages of the menstrual cycle with the goal of balancing your hormones and promoting menstrual health. What does that mean? Ooh, y'all, we gotta research seed cycling. Is anybody familiar with seed cycling? Have y'all ever heard of that? Oh Lord, y'all, call me Big Mama says I'm big as hell for no reason. Friend. So y'all haven't heard of seed cycling. Big Mama, are you on GLP-1 meds? Are you on GLP-1 meds, friend? Or do you need to get on GLP-1 meds? And Joni, we do accept Affirm for bulk orders. I saw your question. I think I'm going through menopause. Something's going on. Got you, friend. But are you on GLP-1 meds? I don't sleep at night and I'm anxious. Yes, that's definitely a symptom of menopause if you're at that age. What can I do about constipation? I'm so bloated. I would say do the Bella Detox. Okay, so call me Big Mama. If you're not on GLP-1 medications, I just would recommend you do some research on it. See if it's, talk with your doctor about it. Get them to assess your, to look back over your last couple of years and see how much weight you've gained in the last couple of years, because you do know women will gain weight at the menopausal age because your metabolism starts to slow down. So you may not have an issue with insulin sensitivity. It may just be menopausal for you. But I do know that GLP-1 medications, not only do they change you metabolically, they help you become more insulin sensitive, but they also delay gastric emptying and they cause you to have appetite suppression and stuff like that. And patients lose weight that way. GLP-1 medications are, we use them for weight loss, but they're not necessarily weight loss medications. They're endocrine medicines that helps your body metabolize and store fat differently. So it's something that you could possibly benefit from. But I would, my expectation would be for you to do your research on it so that you can develop an understanding of what it does, especially for menopausal women. Because if you feel like you've gained weight in the last couple of years secondary to menopause because you're at that age, it just may be menopausal for you. You may not have insulin resistance issues. So that's definitely an in-depth conversation you should have with your doctor. Especially your OBGYN can explain it to you way better than what I can, friend. Okay, so I don't know about the seed cycling, you guys, when it comes to the menstrual, but it's definitely something that I'm gonna screenshot and do some more studies on because that's very interesting. Okay. All right. So we said fluid retention can be secondary to sodium intake. We also said that it can be secondary to hormone fluctuations. The third thing I found was dehydration. GLP-1 meds can suppress your thirst and cause you to be nauseated and can cause you to drink less. So they say the resolve to that is to just sip throughout the day, aim for 2 to 3 liters a day. And then also, if you are dehydrated, add electrolytes. And y'all know my favorite electrolyte is by Plume. Hold on, let me grab it. I love me some Plume. Now listen, I like Pedialyte and Gatorlyte because it's so you can't really overdo it with Pedialyte or Gatorlyte, but this one has less sodium than liquid IV, so I tend to talk about this more than the liquid IVs just because it has less sodium. So if you use the link that's in my bio, or if you go to plume.com, make sure before y'all check out, y'all use the code NurseK so you can get 10% off, because the owner did give us discounts. Like they've given some creators discounts to give to the followers. You know, so if you can get something at discount, that's what you want to do, okay? I just received my Plume electrolytes in the mail. Okay, Miss Carolyn. Girl, did you try them? Do you like them? They're not as potent as liquid IV. That's what I like about them, you know. But, you know, liquid IV is for rapid, you know, it's for like, I feel like liquid IV is for people who, you know, need aggressive electrolyte replacement. This right here is nice and subtle. And oh, another thing that I like about Plume products is every Plume product that you take has something in it to help you with gut health. That's another thing that I love about Plume, y'all. Okay. All right. So fluid retention. I'm trying to stay on topic and answer y'all questions at the same time. So fluid retention. So we said sodium imbalance. We said hormone fluctuations. We said dehydration can cause fluid imbalance. And then also, and this is the one right here that I feel like this is how I corrected my fluid retention. High carb intake. Y'all know, as long as I have been on Beyonce's internet talking to y'all about fluid retention, I forgot that if you have a high carbohydrate diet, that you will also retain fluid. I alternate between high carb and low carb days. So Rocio, you're doing calorie cycling, right? You're doing calorie cycling like Miss Heidi, which is a good thing, which is a great thing. Carb cycling. Okay, thank you, Janvier. Thank you. Hey, Nene. Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay, so y'all, I had to take myself all the way back to chemistry on this one. So wherever you have, I wish I had like my little whiteboard so I can show y'all, but that would be just doing too much. I think that would just be doing too much. I don't want it to go over people's heads. So what happens is carbohydrates store water. Did y'all know that? How many people knew that carbohydrates store water? So when I was telling y'all that I had all of this, that I had gained these 11 pounds, I was like, damn, how the hell am I going to lose these 11 pounds? Like, what am I doing? Because I honestly did not feel like I was eating enough foods to have gained 11 pounds. But because the 11 pounds was staying on me and it wasn't moving, in my mind, I'm like, it got to be adipose tissue. This cannot just be fluid, because why is it not moving? Because, you know, some days you can go to sleep and wake up and you'll be like 6 pounds heavier. And then in 2 days, you be done lost all of them 6 pounds. But for me, them 11 pounds, it just wasn't going. It was like maybe 2-3 pounds fluctuating, but I was staying stuck at that 11 pound mark. So something in my brain in the middle of the night said, I think you eating too many carbohydrates. I think that's why you big. You know, like, that's why you're retaining all of this fluid. So I told my husband, I said, the next 4 days, I'm not eating no carbs. Like, my carbs is going to be just from just from whatever my MyFitnessPal app says. I'm going to stick to my 50 carbs. So I was using my MyFitnessPal. I think I used it for maybe 5 days. Y'all, when I tell y'all, when I got to that 4th day, I was 8 pounds smaller. And I was like, that's what it is, you know, because here's the thing. When you get in maintenance will make you think that you can go back to eating some things that you used to eat. Like, for example, Javier says keto about 90% of the time when I have my 10%. See, okay. And I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. That's what I was doing to maintain my weight. But girl, sometimes maintenance, because when you are, this is what happened, friend. This is the real truth. My weight was staying so consistent between 100 and 165, doing whatever. I thought that was my new set point. Y'all remember how Oprah said that your body has a set point? Like, for example, when I was a heavy girl, my weight I never got over 250 pounds. Like, I don't think my weight ever got over 250 pounds. No matter how much I ate, I would, if I would gain weight, I wouldn't gain no more than 250. I don't know why I would not get bigger than that. So I learned through my journey that when you start losing weight, your body will have a new set point for your weight. So I thought that my new set point was 160, 165. So what I would do is reintroduce stuff that I used to like back into my diet. So Jean-Pierre, girl, I stopped eating bread. Girl, I can't tell you, like, if I think back before December, before I went on my vacation, I cannot tell you before then when I ate bread, because I replaced my bread with low carb tortillas. Y'all know there's keto bread. That's the type of bread stuff that I would eat. And you know, when you're eating stuff like that, it's just fiber. And your body doesn't process fiber like it processes carbs. You just eat it and you excrete. So in December, when I went on vacation, I reintroduced bread back into my diet. I reintroduced rice back into my diet. Now, I never really stopped eating rice, but I was eating a lot of rice in December, January. A lot. Because, you know, it's cold. In Louisiana and in Texas, it's cold. Girl, that's gumbo season here. If you don't know what that is, gumbo is like a pot of soup that has seafood, sausage, shrimp, crabs. What else, y'all? Turkey neck. Girl, it's like a stew, gravy, and you eat it with rice. So in Louisiana, Texas, we really big on that out here. So and like shrimp stews and stuff like that. Okra, yes. So I reintroduced rice back into my diet heavy because I eat a lot of gumbo and etouffees and shrimp stews and stuff like that during December and January. So that I was doing that. And then also, y'all know I had to break myself out of drinking smoothies from Smoothie King specifically. Now, I literally where I live on this street. My neighborhood is off of this street. In the street that I live on, there's literally a shopping center right in front of my house, like right in front of the neighborhood. And in that neighborhood, there is a natural smoothie shop there that I had grown to love. And you know, like when you are changing the foods that you like to eat, it's like you have to learn to like foods that are better for you. Then it's like, let me see, for example, let me just say it this way. I've always loved smoothies, but there are some smoothie shops that are full of sugars. And then there's some smoothie shops that's real fruit. I had to transition my taste buds from being so addicted to the sugary smoothies to the ones that are more healthy. And I did that. I was doing it. I was so good. Girl, they juiced and everything over there. I loved that place. But January and December, for some reason, I started going back to Smoothie King. And of course, those smoothies are full of carbohydrates, full of sugars, because I thought my new set point was 160 to 165. But it's not, you know, and so these are the type of things that we do or that we think that we can get away with, and we cannot. You know, when you're on your health journey, it's supposed to be a lifestyle, right? It's not supposed to be an event, you know, in time. It's not supposed to be an episode in your life. It's not supposed to be a season. It's supposed to be a lifelong situation. And I can promise you Those 11 pounds that I gained, it kind of scared me because I was like, as easy as because it wasn't, well, it really wasn't easy for me to lose weight. But once you get your mind set on being healthy and you start eating in a healthy way, it's very easy for you to have a healthy relationship with food, because you're not just doing it for fun. You're doing it because you want to feel better. You want to live better. You want to sleep better. You want longevity. You want a better quality of life. So it means more to you. But then for some reason, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if you're in maintenance, have you ever gone through a phase in maintenance where you felt like you could get away with eating stuff that you used to eat just because you're in a smaller body? Am I the only person guilty of that? Because I'm being honest, y'all. I really thought that. I really thought, okay, well, I'm 160 pounds now. As long as I take my GLP-1, tirzepatide is not going to let me overeat. And sometimes it doesn't. But you still can start getting back used to eating things that will put weight on you, like the bread, like the rice, and, pushing the envelope with your plate. For example, when I was like strict with my weight loss journey, y'all, I would not eat in a big plate. Like, you cannot give me food on a big plate. Give me a small little bowl or a small little saucer, because by the time I finish with that, I'm full. However, if you get a big plate of food, for some reason, I don't know why the mind is like that, but if you get a big plate of food, your mind will try to tell you to eat all that damn food. When you're in maintenance, do you have food suppression? You do. If you continue to take your medicine, I still had I still had some appetite suppression, but I think it was my choice of foods. Like, my choice of foods started to change. Like, for example, when we would cook and if it was a meal that went with rice, I stopped eating rice. I would just eat, like, if it was a meat with and it had like some gravy or something with some side, I would just eat the meat and the sides. Like, I would eat the protein and whatever the vegetable was, right? I took the rice completely off my plate. I took the potatoes completely off my plate, or I would replace it with fruit. But in maintenance, my maintenance had me thinking, because I wasn't gaining any weight and I stayed 160 pounds for like over a year. I did not gain no weight. I'm like, okay, well, I think I can introduce rice back into my diet. I think I can eat bread now. I think I can drink smoothie from Smoothie King. But no. No. Carter Crew is asking, do you take maintenance meds weekly or have you modified? So I do take them weekly now, but girl, December, January, I wasn't taking them weekly, friend. And again, I think it was because I thought that I can get away with not doing it weekly, but I have learned probably the hard way that my body is just not set up that way. I truly have insulin resistance. I truly have a problem with food noise. I truly have a problem with fluid retention. And I should already know that I have a problem with fluid retention because I had a mastectomy when I had cancer. And I don't even have lymph nodes underneath my arm. So I already have a problem with retaining fluid. So you would think, as a nurse, I would know better than to be eating all these carbs. And I would know better to be eating boiled seafood bags. But girl, I'm still human. So I still indulge in those things. Now the problem is, now I have to figure out what is the real balance. If I don't want to be in my feelings because I'm retaining weight, what do? Right? So I know I'm not supposed to be eating crawfish, boiled bags every 3 days. Maybe I can do it every 10. I don't know, but that's something that I gotta figure that out with myself, because y'all, I love me some seafood. So you know what I've been doing, y'all? What I've been trying to do, since I love seafood so much, I've been cooking salmon. I'm obsessed with salmon, but y'all know salmon is expensive. Y'all, I bought a salmon steak the other day. Y'all, the steak probably was about, I don't know if y'all consider this big, but to me, that's not big for my family, because I can eat a piece of salmon like this by myself. That damn thing was $47. A piece of salmon this big was $47. So it's like, damn, I can't even eat salmon in peace because it's so expensive. Side to side says go to, okay. Thank you, friend. Go to Sam's for salmon. Okay. Girl, I go right there to HEB. Yes is a mortgage. Yes. Yeah. How much water do you drink in a day? A lot. I drink about 100 ounces. This is 64. It's almost gone. Plus all the other stuff I drink. You know, I do like a protein drink. So I drink about 100 cc's. I eat baked flounder. I don't know why. I just love salmon, y'all. I love salmon, but it's just very expensive. How long have you been doing what, baby? I've had a daughter 5 months ago, and I'm having a really hard time losing weight. Which one should I do? So, Indy, I would say, I always tell patients who just start, you know, it just depends on how much weight you need to lose, friend. If you have greater than 20, if you have greater than 30, 40 pounds, I would try to talk to my doctors about, if you have insurance, about the MOUNJARO, WEGOVY, or I'm sorry, ZEPBOUND, the one that has the dual agonist, the tirzepatide, is what I would recommend. And I'm only saying that because I know that, you know, tirzepatide is a dual agonist. You have GLP-1 and GIP. Can you talk about slow responders? So, yes, baby, I take tirzepatide. So, I don't really believe, you know, I don't really know what to say about slow responders. I think that people who feel like they're slow responders are people who really don't understand how the medications work. And, you know, it's like, it's so hard for me to judge whether someone is a true slow responder, because I don't really know what your life walk looks like. I don't really know how consistent you are with moving your body, how consistent you are with your regimen as far as your food intake, if you're meeting water goals, if you're making sure you're having regular bowel movements. You know, everything counts. If you're eating high protein, low carbs, you know, if I don't know you, it's hard for me to say that people are slow responders. But here's the thing I do know. I do know that if you research the medicine and you learn that you're not taking a weight loss medicine, and you understand that it's an endocrine medicine that's meant to change you metabolically, it would probably change your perception of your thought process on how the weight comes off. You know, the weight doesn't come off right away. There's some metabolic changes that need to happen. And who knows how long it's going to take for any one person, because it depends on what you have going on metabolically, you know, what kind of comorbidities you deal with, what your, you know, if you are diabetic, if you have cardiovascular disease, if you have autoimmune diseases. Like, it's so many different things that play a role in metabolic issues. And for some of us who do have those type of comorbidities going on, it takes a minute for GLP-1s to surface as weight loss, because the metabolic changes have to happen first, right? And so here is how people lose weight on GLP-1 medications. Not only does it have to do with you being insulin sensitive and your body learning how to process carbs and fats, you know, and how to metabolize and break down fats and store fats and, you know, excrete fats the way it's supposed to be excreted. But then there's going to come a time when you have delayed gastric emptying, and then you do have appetite suppression. You know, are you eating the foods that you're supposed to be eating? Y'all know, I know people who feel like, okay, I'm not going to eat all day, and then at night I'm going to eat all of my calories at night. That's not really good. You know, so it's like, I would have to be in your skin to be able to tell you if you're a slow responder. You know, I just think people, you know, when you take a GLP-1 medication, if you come into your journey with the expectation of rapid weight loss, I feel like you've already lost. Because the point of taking a GLP-1 medicine is supposed to be about, you know, you changing metabolically, you know, and if you're stressing yourself out about the weight, You're keeping your cortisol levels up. You're stressing out. You're stalling yourself. I feel like if you just take your medicine and give your body the respect it needs to make the changes it needs to make, especially if you've been an obese person for years, can you imagine the metabolic changes your body has to identify with to correct itself if you've been dealing with obesity for years? You've been an obese, let me just speak for myself. I was obese for over 20 years. My body was in pure hell. You know, when you're an obese patient, there's a lot of inflammatory situations going on. A lot of sickness develops from obesity, right? And if your body has been in a constant state of inflammation for 20 years, why would I expect to take a medicine and have weight loss in a couple months? It's so unrealistic. Like, if you really think about it, it's so unrealistic. It's so unrealistic. But I do find that if you take the medicine the way your clinicians tell you to take it, and you relax, because you've already won by taking the medicine. Now you just have to chill and just pay attention to your body, treat your side effects, attempt to diary your food intake, attempt to compartmentalize what you should be eating, when you should be eating, when you should start eating, when you should stop eating, how much you should be moving your body. If you focus on those things, that scale, you'll see the weight come down. But if every day, listen, and I'm guilty because I'm talking to myself as well. If every day you get up and the first thing you do is run to that scale and that weight is the same and you already feel defeated, it's like torture. Just enjoy your life. You already won by researching and getting on the meds. Now the work comes in with developing a relationship with food, moving your body more than what you have been moving it, you know, and I never tell y'all to get up and go run to the gym and be all of these gym buffs and stuff like that. No, find something that you really enjoy doing. It might be gardening. You know, you can lose weight being in your garden, working in your damn garden. It could be that. Going on a little nature walk. You weren't walking before. Listen, I'm talking to myself. You weren't walking before, you know, swimming, bike riding, roller skating. It's so many fun things that you can do to help you move your body more than what it was doing, and just enjoy your life. And I promise you, the weight is going to come off. Y'all, there are so many people that probably could put in this chat right now how much weight they have lost since the time they started, you know. And you'll see if it happens for them, it can, oh my God, thank you. If it happens for them, it can happen for you, friend, with consistency. And if you know, another thing I feel like that deters people's journeys is watching other people. Watching other people, you know, usually when I tell y'all to put how much weight y'all have lost in the chat, it's just to encourage anybody, y'all. We don't compete over here. It's not a competition. It's to inspire. It's for people to see where they are going, where you're going to be in a few months with your dedication and your consistency to your journey by implementing things into your journey that works for you. Y'all know how I be talking about this pregame card. It took me 2 years to build this pregame card, to put everything on here that helps me, my husband, and my daughter. It didn't happen overnight, and I got things that I researched myself. There's things on my cart that y'all recommended, and I just use what works for me. You know what I'm saying? Just because I tell y'all to take, Just because I tell y'all to take Bella Detox, it doesn't necessarily mean that Bella Detox is going to work for you. It's just what I have used in my journey to work for me. That's why a lot of times when y'all ask me, this is usually the first thing I tell y'all, and I tell you this one just from a nurse's perspective, because I know this isn't something that's going to hurt you, because I know all it is fiber. It's natural, it's non-GMO. You cannot overdo it with these. I used to say Mag-Ox 7, I used to say milk and magnesia, and I had to stop myself from doing that because I know not everybody knows how to use a Mag-Ox 7 or a milk and magnesia. So I try As a nurse, now, I try to give more healthier options when it comes to the electrolyte enhancement. Y'all don't think I have, hold on, let me show y'all. Hold on. Y'all don't think I have liquid IVs and hold on, let me show you. Liquid IV. I think these are the only two. Yeah. For electrolyte replacements, y'all, I have the liquid IVs. I have the electrolyte gummies and stuff like that. But when I am advising, when I'm talking to a community of people, I can't tell everybody to take a liquid IV because I could be telling that to a cardiovascular patient. Hey, Nurse Rock. So as a nurse, I have to be mindful of the things that I suggest because not everybody is going to receive it the way in my mind I'm saying it. So I try to pick safer options. So whenever we're talking about dehydration, I always say y'all do Pedialyte, y'all do Gatorade because I know y'all can't overdo it. You can't get a Pedialyte wrong. You can't, And the reason why I really like this one is because it has less sodium than liquid IV. And the owner gave us a discount code. So I know you cannot hurt yourself with a Plume electrolyte replacement. So that's why I say those things. But still, if you feel like you need a liquid IV, then that's your journey. You may need a liquid IV, but I'm going to try to give you guys the most, safer options, if that makes sense. I lost 110 pounds and now weigh 120. I wish everyone could take GLP-1s. Me too, friend. Listen, and not just for weight loss. A lot of people think collagen recommendations. A lot of people think that GLP-1 medications are just for people who want to lose weight. It's not. Do y'all know? Well, y'all don't know, but I'm going to tell y'all. My dad takes 2.5 of tirzepatide just because he is an aortic aneurysm survivor, right? My daddy's, the biggest artery that feeds his heart burst, okay? So because he survived that, he is on a low dose of tirzepatide, and it's just for simply cardiovascular protection. This is the one I recommend, the collagen. And the reason why I like this one, friend, is because it has collagen, it has protein, and it has hyaluronic acid in it, and that helps you with your skin. Okay, so I really, really like this one. It's by Vita Authority. It's in my TikTok shop, or you can, I don't know where else you can find it. I get it off of TikTok. But patients will take GLP-1 medications for cardiovascular protection. They take it if they have like chronic kidney disease. It slows down kidney disease. Patients who are pre-diabetic, it prevents them from going into full diabetes. People who have fatty livers, it cures their fatty liver. Imagine that. Y'all, I had a lady on here, or it might have been a gentleman that told me that their mother passed away of fatty liver, and they wish this medicine was around when she was suffering with that. Sleep apnea, it corrects sleep apnea, or helps patients with sleep apnea. What else? Patients who have autoimmune diseases that's associated with pain. The anti-inflammatory properties of GLP-1 medications help them with that. Who said this? Just Tasha says, my cardiologist recommended the meds as well. Yeah, for cardiovascular protection. Yes, Annie, PCOS, that's a big one. Big one, huge. So, GLP-1 medicines are so amazing. Maybe useful for treating drug addiction. Research says, Cappy, yes. There are people who I said to me, I no longer smoke and I no longer drink alcohol. Have said that to me because they're on GLP-1 medications. And you know why that happens? Because GLP-1 and GIP are satiation hormones that work in the satiety centers of the brain. So it's like a pleasure. It helps in the pleasure part of the brain. That's the simplest way I can put it. So they feel satisfied. They don't feel like they need to or anymore. Oh, yes. Nurse Rock says so many things. Crohn's and colitis. Y'all, my nurse practitioner, Aaron takes, he was an obese child, and he's lost a lot of weight on GLP-1 medications, but he did also say that he has minimal colitis flares because he's on GLP-1 meds. Yes, Annie. I recently heard that GLP-1 is also helping with sleep apnea. Yes. Do you know how it does that, friend? Some patients who have sleep apnea, if y'all don't know what that is, that's when people, they stop breathing in their sleep. But a lot of times it is secondary because some patients have these big bellies. You know, when they sleep on their backs, it pushes up against their lungs. And then they also get this these fat necks that puts pressure on their windpipes. So when they lose weight, can you imagine the relief that comes off of their lungs and their windpipes? It's amazing. Y'all, my husband, when he was overweight, that man would snore. Listen. Ooh, God. My God in heaven. Me and my daughter, we would be like, you better go put that mask on or we out of here. It would be so bad. Now that my husband is 70 pounds lighter, y'all, he sleep. We can't even hear that man sleeping. Sometimes I be looking at him like, is he dead? He be so quiet. He be so quiet. It scares me because I just never was used to him. I hear when my husband's sleeping, I know he's sleeping because I can hear him. Well, used to. Now, child, I gotta go look. Because he'd be too quiet. Especially if that mask not on. He'd be too quiet. Which is great. You know, which is great for him. So, you know, GLP-1 medications are amazing medicine. Y'all, we went from talking about fluid retention to all of the things that GLP-1 medications help. And I love when the live goes that way. Because, you know, it's an amazing thing. You know what I also like? I love the fact that we made 50K. I love the fact that we educate ourselves on these meds and that we're bringing our families along now. Because when I started, my husband was like, oh, Lord, she finna give herself an injection every week. Like, you think that's what, like, I don't know about that. And then when he seen me drop that weight, he was like, babe, you want to talk to my doctor about MOUNJARO and see if I can get it? I sure do. And when my husband started taking it, then my daughter wanted to take it because she seen we both was getting fine up in this camp. Okay. She said, oh, no, I'm not finna be the fat family member in here. So now we all looking pretty good around here. My husband was 342 pounds. He's down to 265. I be checking to make sure he's not dead when he sleeps. So, friend, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. T-Baby says, my husband is too. I love that for us. You understand? I like, you know, and I like that my husband can take a nap without putting his CPAP on. Now, do I think he still needs his CPAP? Yes, because my husband has not given up smoking. So, until he give up smoking, I'm going to always want him to be on his CPAP because I feel like, you know, the CPAPs helps smokers, especially, you know, oxygenate. You know, he's a truck driver and I just wish, I don't know, I'm still praying about that for him. That's his only vice is he's a truck driver and, you know, he picked up that habit. I don't know if it was boredom. I don't know. But I just wish that he would stop that because everything else, like his blood pressure is fine. He, you know, his hemoglobin A1C, his diabetic A1C levels were 13.8 when he first got diagnosed. Now he's 5.4. And it's to the point where now he only has to take his MOUNJARO every other week. His doctor won't even let him take it every week because he's so good. Now if he could just put them cigars down, like... whatever. God is still working on him with that. Okay, so can you please talk about the side effects? So I'm really looking into it. Okay, so Sarah Some of the side effects, so your side effects are going to be GI related, friend. And every side effect that you can experience can be treated over the counter. So that's when we start talking about the pregame cart. Like, you get you a cart together that has everything to treat the side effects when you do your research on side effects. So when I say GI related, it can be anything from constipation, diarrhea, nausea, upset stomach, what else, y'all? Abdominal cramping, sulfur burbs. You can get dehydrated, and like, if those things don't get treated, of course, they can escalate. But girl, listen, your good days far exceed your bad, okay? You're gonna have some down days on GLP-1 medicine. It's not a perfect, thing, but the key is learning how to manage your side effects, learning what things to take when you have an upset stomach. When you have an upset stomach, there's some things that I may take that help me resolve my upset stomach that you may take that don't help you, Y'all, are we okay? Is the live okay? Like, are we having any issues with Wi-Fi? Because the comments stopped rolling. Are we good? Okay, we good. I may be able to take a ginger chew for nausea, and ginger chews really do help me. Ginger helps me resolve my nausea. I don't have to take Zofran every time I'm nauseated. So some people can just do a peppermint. Some people can just take an alcohol wipe and waft it in front of their face and resolve. You just have to learn how to treat your side effects, and you'll have a better experience with GLP-1 medications, because a lot of times patients stop because they don't know how to manage their side effects. And it's so sad when I see that. We are just mesmerized by you. Oh, thank you, Nurse Rock. Thank you so much. Teeny said I went out for about 2 minutes. Okay, I thought something had happened because the comments stopped rolling. How do I still be feeling so hungry and stuff on GLP-1 medications? Friend, because you may not be on the dose that manages your food noise yet. My food noise didn't get suppressed until I got to 10 milligrams. Oh, Nurse Rock. I missed y'all too. So who said that? So Luciano, you may not just be on your perfect dosing yet, friend. Hello, I'm new here. I would like to know which is best for me and where to purchase. Can you please help me? So Jessica, well, I can definitely help you, sweet pea. So here's the thing, friend. If you have insurance, friend, you see these meds right here, you would ask your primary care doctor or whoever is taking care of you if it's just obesity that you're dealing with, friend. You're gonna ask for either WEGOVY or ZEPBOUND, okay? And you're gonna ask your PBM, that's your pharmacy benefits manager, is this on my profile for insurance? Always try to use your insurance first, okay, friend? If it is on your formulary, which I hope that is on your formulary, then your doctor can prescribe this for you, baby, and you be on your way, okay? If it's not on your formulary, you can ask your PBM, what is the criteria for my prior authorization? Because you are entitled to a prior authorization. A prior authorization is a form that you and your doctor has to fill out that is going to come with a criteria that you must meet in order for your insurance company to say, okay, this is medically necessary for her. Yes, we will pay. Okay. Everything that is on that criteria for you to meet, you must meet it. Whatever they're asking you to do, friend, you have to do it. Okay. For example, girl, right now, I am going through a difficult prior authorization only because, girl, I am refusing to get myself into a weight loss management program. Now, I know that is silly. It is. It's silly because I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to go into the weight loss program. I'm going to do it, but I'm taking my time doing it. And it's only because I have another option. But if I didn't have another option, I would have probably been did it to make sure I got my meds. But anyway, I said all of that to say there are going to be some things on your criteria that may seem so minuscule to you. But your insurance company is going to say, if you don't do it, we are not paying. Right. Armando says, got to play the insurance game, sadly. Let me put it. You do. Every single thing that they ask you to do, no matter how small it is, if you do not do it, they will deny you, friend. Okay. Now, meantime, in between time, while you're trying to get your stuff together for your prior authorization, because you're going to do it, you need to do it. If you have insurance and it comes with the criteria and you know that you can meet your criteria, just work on checking off the boxes so that you can get your medicine, friend. Okay. Meantime, in between time, there are telehealth companies that you can go through. Okay. And there are great telehealth companies out there. I'm partnered with Amble. There's a link in my bio that you can use, and we will, pair you with a clinician who will assess your medical history, your current meds that you're on, and they will decide with you which medicine works best for you based upon how much weight you want to lose and what other stuff you have going on. That happens between you and the doctor, okay? So they'll talk with you. You can just use the link in the bio. As a matter of fact, let me show you. And again, like I said, there are a lot of telehealth companies. Amble is not the only one. It's just the one that I'm partnered with, okay? Give me 1 second, baby doll. I'm going to show you. Give me 1 second, boo. So, the link for Amble that is in my bio, if you click this picture twice, this is for anybody who's interested. I'm speaking to her, but I'm speaking to everybody, okay? Click this picture twice. It'll bring you to my profile page on TikTok, okay? Under my profile page and under my email address, which is right here, is my personal website. The link for Amble is in my personal website. So you're going to open up my personal website that ends in KEASHA Dixon. When you open it up, you're going to know that you're in because you're going to see a picture of me, my name, and you're going to scroll down till you get to the Amble Health link, which is right here. This hyperlink, you're going to open it up. When you open it, it's going to bring you straight to the personalized questions, that medical questionnaire that every patient that becomes a patient with Amble must go through. And then they'll connect you with the clinician. Y'all will talk and decide what you want to be on. And then the medicines will come to you in the mail, baby. That's how that happens, okay? But before you do any of that, you want to definitely research the medicines so you can get an understanding of what they are, how they work, what the side effects are, how to treat the side effects. Because once you jump in, I would hate for you to jump in and be like, oh, you know, these meds don't work for me because I'm having X, Y, and Z, which are side effects, which are expected. Okay, friend? So make sure you educate yourself before you start, because I would hate for you to start and feel like the medicines aren't working for you because you just don't have enough information. Okay, you will be more successful in your weight loss journey, if it's for weight loss, if you educate yourself before you start. I just started a study for a new GLP-1, Maritide. It's once a month. The first poke is Thursday. Ooh, Natalie, girl, I heard of Maritide like a year ago. So, wow, that's amazing. I heard about that one a year ago. Girl, you're gonna have to come. Girl, you're gonna have to keep me updated with that one, Natalie. Hold on, let me follow you. Are you going to be sharing your journey? Okay, Natalie, I'm following. They're in phase 3. Wow. Natalie, are you going to be sharing your journey? Because I heard about Maritide and Retatrutide as well. I'm waiting for someone. I've not seen anybody share their journey on Retatrutide either. Did y'all see Nurse Rock says, I have studied that one. She says, I'm excited for the others. Friend, I'm excited for other ones to come down the pipeline as well, because Semaglutide and Tirzepatide, honey, they think they big stuff. But wait till these other ones come on the scene. She says, I shared my last study I did, but wasn't sure if I should with this one. Oh, okay. I understand that. If you feel apprehensive about sharing your journey, then don't do it. Don't do it, friend. I understand that. I respect that. I'm just, I guess I just I'm just interested. Like, I'm just interested in how, you know, how one would take it and how their body would respond to it. My insurance stopped covering when I got near my goal weight. Ambled saved the day. But where's my gavel? Okay. Let me tell you something. Amble be taking care of us. They really do. Also, doesn't reduce inflammation. Hold on, let me see what Bella has said. Okay, she says, the Hacksmith is on TikTok. He is on retatrutide and lost a little bit more than tirzepatide, but it doesn't quiet the food noise. And it also doesn't reduce inflammation. Bella, really? Oh, I was looking forward to the retatrutide for those reasons, So retatrutide doesn't have anti-inflammatory properties and people still be hungry. Then what's the triple agonist? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would love, let me see who she said. Let me take a picture of this so I can follow that person. The Hacksmith. I'll look that person up. What is food noise? Food noise is like cravings when you're not hungry, when you're constantly thinking about food and you're not even hungry. Like, you're eating breakfast, but you're thinking about lunch. You done ate lunch. Now you're thinking about a snack. You're up in the middle of the night looking for food and you ate dinner. You know, like that, constantly wanting to eat, you know, constantly thinking about food. That's food noise. He said that retatrutide combined with peptide cargri to reduce the food noise. So okay. Wow. See, I'm just not, I'm very skeptical about the peptides. Like all of those, girl, I would have to, and only because I haven't researched them myself. You see, I can watch someone talk about something all day long, but until I go research it and read, you know, and get into the medical journals, because I never take the word of someone who does not have MD or some type of science, something behind their name, you know, because they're just talking about, you know, when you're just talking to people and people are telling you something, it's based upon their level, their perception, right? But clinicians talk, you know, based upon evidence-based practice. And I tend to believe evidence-based practice more than someone's personal opinion about something. So because I have not researched all of those peptides myself and looked into the medical journals to see what the evidence-based studies say, it scares, you know, some of those peptides be scaring me. He just wrote a book on peptides. Oh, wow. That's great, actually. What compounds do Amble carry? So, Anne, you would have to go into the one that I can specifically tell you about is peptides. So, I know we have anti-aging things. I don't know that we have peptides. Is Semorlin considered a peptide, y'all? See, that's how much I know. I don't really know stuff about that. The only thing I know that we have is like the anti-aging stuff, like glutathione. We have NAD, which I take those both. Lipo-C, we have Lipo-B, we have Semorlin. I don't think we have those research grade like peptides things. Is Semorlin considered a peptide, y'all? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, see, I didn't even know that. And I've never taken it. I know Nurse Kima is about to start documenting her journey with it. She doing damn good on it, on Semorlin. And listen, usually I don't try those type of things until after Kima does. Y'all know Kima is my virtual nurse. So once she tries stuff and I see how things pan out for her, then I'll be like, okay, well, let me just try it then, because she, you know. And whatever she do, I'm going to do a lot less, you know. Because I trust her judgment. You know, I know how she researches. You know, I know how she researches. So I trust her judgment. Bella says, I'm going to start the AOD 9604. Girl, I've heard people say that so many times, which is a fat burner and can be combined with tirzepatide. I've heard so many people say that they're going to start that one. I lost 85 pounds on semaglutide study, and once the study was done, I gained 35 back. I'm ready, Maritime. I know that's right, friend. I know that's right. So you know what that tells me? What I think that says is that you may have problems with insulin resistance. With insulin resistance. I feel like, you know, that's a hormone issue that you have going on. Hold on, Lisa. Let me look, baby. Retatrutide is still in clinical trials and not approved for chemical. Not approved for human consumption. Okay, friend. I just saw your comment. Got you. Miss Debbie says she just started AOD. So, Miss Deb, how are you doing on it? I'm scared to try those from China. If it's not from Amble, I don't want it. Girl, don't get me started. Don't get me started. And listen, let me tell y'all how I developed so much trust in Amble and the pharmacies that they choose. When I first became a patient of Amble, because y'all know I was a patient before a partner, I became a patient because I came on live and I asked y'all, who are we all using for telehealth? Y'all all said Amble. That's why I went with Amble, because everybody was saying, oh, use Amble, use Amble. And so then the owner reached out to me. That's how I started working with him. The owner reached out to me. Now, y'all know Amble is, you know, they just started their company. I want to say the end of, let me see, it's 2025, the end of 2023. So they were a new company. Y'all, when I became a partner, the owners of Amble were going from pharmacy to pharmacy. In the pharmacy, they wanted to know how the meds were made. They wanted to know the temperature. Like, they were in the pharmacy looking at everything and reporting back to us. So I'm like, I love this shit. You know, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, you're going to give me the insight. Like, you're going to give me the report? Oh, listen, I was sold. I was like, okay. This right here tells me they go take care of their patients. You know, just as a nurse, knowing that the owners of this company, they took their company so seriously, they wanted to see. They were, I think when I first came on, they were in town assessing Revive Pharmacy when I first came on, and I was like, I was stunned. I was shocked, because let me tell y'all something. I've been in medicine over 23 years, and I have, you know, I've seen a lot of things, but I've never witnessed, not saying that it don't happen, but I just have never seen owners just be like traveling, going from pharmacy to pharmacy, like investigating, like they wanted to see themselves. That's like amazing. You know, all a company really got to do is call on the phone, send a couple of emails and say, can you do this for me? And they say, yeah, and it be done. But the fact that they took the extra step to make sure they were in the pharmacies to see how things are set up, how y'all doing this, I loved that. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, this is great. You know, they didn't have to share that with me, and they did. And so I'm forever grateful, because I know, you know, and ever since then, you know, my relationship with the owners have been like nothing short of amazing. That's why, you know, when I come on and I talk about Amble, like, I really, really like those guys, the owners, because they really are about their patients. Really, y'all. They really about their patients. And I love that, because my husband and my daughter are patients. Is it a possibility to do maintenance with Ozempic after being on tirzepatide? Lisa, yes. Yeah, girl. Okay, y'all, what else is going on? Because I want to go watch G20. Is it G20? Hold on. I wrote down the show that I'm going to be watching tonight. It's called, yes, G20 with Viola Davis. Have y'all watched that? Y'all, we're at 70K. That's what I want to watch. What is AOD? Friend, I don't know. I know that it's a peptide. Hold on, let's look it up and then we're gonna end the live. Let me look it up right quick. Let me see if there's a medical journal about AOD. Medical journal. Y'all know I always go through Harvard. AOD. Friend, there is. Let me see who's the doctor. I'm shocked. Hold on, let me see who's the doctor that did this one. Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism is where I'm reading this from, y'all. Who's the doctor? Well, I don't see no doctor's names on here. Hold on, y'all. Because y'all know if they don't have doctors attached to this, I am not going to be talking about it. Hold on, let me see. Make sure there's some doctors attached to this. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a few of them. Hold on. Okay, the references for this journal, there are 39 doctors attached to this case. Okay, so let me explain to y'all what this one says it is. Let me see. Okay, so it says AOD 9604 is a fragment of human growth hormone, okay? Initially developed as an obesity treatment, prepared by solid phase peptide synthesis. It tells you what it contains, y'all. It's real deep. Hold on, but let's see, what does it do? It's a single chain amino acid that does what? Okay, it says it influences fat distribution, particularly abdominal fat, and reduces body fat mass. However, side effects can include glucose intolerance, diabetes, insulin resistance, acromegaly, y'all, cancer, edema, and hypertension. So then it goes on to say what happened in the early studies. You know what I'm going to do? Let me save this. And when I do a video about it, I'll attach the link. You know what? I'll put the link in my copy link. I'll put the link in on my personal website. You're welcome. Nikki, you can take Bella Detox every single day. Did the live pause? Are we okay? Because I know I was looking down for some time. Okay, we good? Okay. So do y'all want me to put the link for AOD in my website so y'all can look it up if y'all are interested in AOD? I feel like if I put it in my bio though, that it would give the impression that I support it, and I don't know if I support it. So if you want it, just DM me and I'll send it to you. Just do that. I saved it, so if you DM me that you want the article, I'll send you the article. If that's something that you're interested in, let's just do that, because I don't want to put that link in my bio and people think that I'm taking it and I haven't researched it. Bella Rose says AOD is advised to be taken 2 months at a time, also with exercise and to release the fat from the body. Got you. See, there's always something more to it. Thank you, friend, for clarifying that for us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end the live. Thank you guys so much for getting me up to 79.1K likes. Y'all, it's always a pleasure coming on and talking about GLP-1 medications. Y'all know it's nothing for me to do this. Nothing. Like, I love talking about GLP-1 medicines, y'all. I just want the whole world to know about GLP-1 medicines and to experience the greatness behind it, and just to have the best quality and longevity that they can possibly have with this, life-changing medicine. Y'all know I end every live by saying, don't be moved by what you see, move what you see by what you say. And that just simply means that if you are going through anything in your life that's causing you heartache, despair, is making you feel less than, is causing you to stress out, is causing you to feel brokenhearted, don't be moved by what you see. Move what you see by what you say. So speak life into whatever it is, okay? And always remember that you guys are kings and queens, and people do not have to like how you move, but they have to respect you at all times. So never come off of your throne. Never take your crown off, friend, to deal with peasants, because they just don't know any better. You're a king, you're a queen, and they don't have a choice but to bow down to you. Okay? Always remember that. I love you guys, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to go. Look, I'm going to go now. I love you guys. Bye.